Hello, and welcome to another Chinese food adventure. I'm very excited, and you guys probably will understand why, because you know, I'm in a car. Doesn't look like it's China outside, looks a little different. You probably guessed it, I'm back in Australia.
I'm back, baby.
He's back, Mom's back.
I'm in the back seat, but I'm back.
She really is, literally and figuratively back. And what are we eating tonight, Dad?
Well, Amy's back in the country, back in Australia, and she's been in China for the last couple of years, so we thought we'd take her to a nice Chinese restaurant.
Who would have thought? I thought, you know, mix it up a bit. But we are actually mixing it up a bit, because today I'm really keen to film a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. So often on my channel, when I sometimes eat food, I'll say, oh, this is really nostalgic for the Chinese food that I grew up with. It's just a nostalgic flavor for me. It makes me really nostalgic, actually. Reminiscent of Mongolian lamb. I would have it in Australia, that flavor. Warming and nostalgic. Tonight, we're actually going to be going to the Chinese restaurant that I grew up eating at. The same restaurant. It's been there for decades and decades. I mean, you guys always took us there. You must have liked it.
Oh, we liked it, and you guys loved it. We'd go there for like special occasions, birthdays and stuff like that, and then you guys got to decide what you wanted to eat. And it was pretty early on. Amy got the Peking duck, that's what she wanted.
It's just so funny in hindsight to see how things turned out, because I have lived in Beijing for, 4 years at this stage, and my favorite food growing up was Beijing duck. And it's funny how the universe works its magic.
But what are some of the classic things we used to get?
On the top of my head, Mongolian lamb coming out on a sizzling platter. Black bean, something in black bean, beef and black bean sauce.
And always fried rice.
Fried rice.
Fried rice, I like fried rice. Oh, I could. When I was a student and I was working part-time at a cinema, was an usher and used to tear tickets. I used to go across to the Chinese restaurant.
Really?
And for dinner, I'd buy myself a big thing of fried rice because I couldn't afford all the other things. I just had a big thing of fried rice with soy sauce. And that was like my dinner. It was great. I loved it.
What about you, Mum? What's your favorite go-to when we go to Chinese?
I must admit, I really like the noodle dishes.
Yeah.
So like every now and again we'd get like the Singapore noodles, which I know isn't Chinese, but they sell Singapore noodles.
It's a classic.
In the Chinese restaurant.
I also am very nostalgic because we're currently driving through the suburb that I grew up in, and all of these streets, like, they have not changed, which is really funny coming from China because everything changes so quickly. Every time I go back after a trip to Australia, there's a new restaurant here, there's a new bridge being built there, but this has not changed.
Tell you what's changed in the last couple of days, the weather.
We are currently experiencing something known as a rain bomb, which is not a term I grew up with, but you guys are very familiar with these days in Australia.
So that's the noise every now and then you hear in the background. Me putting the windscreen wipers on so I can see where we're going.
Dad's not farting. It's just the car doing its thing.
For all the listeners out there that thought I was farting, no. Coming up on the right here is another nostalgic place for Amy. McDonald's. We used to go to McDonald's and the girls we used to line them up, one sundae of every flavour, and then we just all share.
Here we are. You can see it here. Oh my gosh, look. I haven't been here in years. Mountain View. There it is up there. Oh my gosh, it's the exact same. Oh, these stairs are nostalgic. Like, I feel somehow that I have become 6 years old again.
Yeah.
And we are about to go, it's my birthday.
Is this one of the
get my duck.
Is this one of the starts of your Chinese adventure?
I mean, maybe this is where my love of Chinese food began. Welcome. So here we are, Mountain View restaurant, and I cannot get over this. It's like stepping into a time portal. Crazy, like even just walking in, it smells the same. It smells, you know, that sweet and sour sauce. It has not changed. The prawn crackers, the menu, even the fish tank.
You guys used to spend ages after the meal looking at the fish. And
I remember that.
Fairly certain those ones aren't for eating though. They're just a tad small.
Even, oh look, even the chopstick wrappers are the same. Something my Chinese viewers might find cute is on the back of chopstick wrappers here, you've got some instructions on how to use them. Oh, I love it. Top dish, we have Peking duck. 68 Australian dollars. We also have my favorite Mongolian lamb.
satay combination.
Satay we had a lot. It's only after going to China that I realized, oh, you don't really find too much satay in China. Although I've gone deep enough in my Chinese food adventures that I've discovered that they do have a variety of satay in Xiamen. They have some sha tang mian, satay noodles, but actually the recipe originally came from Singapore / Malaysia.
In China you don't get satay chicken.
No, it's not indigenous to China. And as promised, of course, here we have Singapore noodles. Let's get Singapore noodles.
Yes.
That's not nostalgic for Chinese.
I love the Singapore noodles. You never let me order it.
Because we have extra fried rice.
Sharon, I want Singapore noodles. Like, no, we want dumplings. I want my Singapore noodles.
This is a child now.
I do remember this. It was very important that we didn't have two of the same protein. We couldn't have satay chicken and Mongolian chicken. It had to be, you know, a beef, a pork, a chicken.
Yes.
So we've got beef with black bean sauce, Mongolian lamb, duck, satay chicken, and of course fried rice.
Fried rice.
Fried rice.
Yes, fried rice, of course.
We're getting your fried rice, don't worry.
That was
I'm a donkey on the edge here. Need my fried rice.
So Mum, I'm sorry. Yet again, we are not going to get...
this is what happened every single time.
She doesn't get a Singapore
Literally what
noodles.
happened every single time. And of course, every good Australian Chinese restaurant will have a dessert menu. But one thing I've since learned is you won't find these desserts in China.
We'd get the lychee and ice cream, sometimes the banana fritter, but mostly we'd go to McDonald's on Sundays. Here it comes, Amy.
We have our Peking duck. So it always comes out first, and just like in China, it's cut up right in front of you. In fact, here they even go a step further and prepare the pancakes for you. Oh my goodness, that looks so good.
Problem with coming out to have one of these food things is food comes to the table, we can't eat it. Amy's got to photograph it. So by the time we eat it, everything gets cold.
Man, I had trained you so well. Back in the day when we were doing these every week, you knew the etiquette. You knew you don't touch the food until the camera touches it first.
You've got your saliva coming down here. We sit, like, we've been sitting now for 5 minutes with the Peking duck pancake in front of me.
Yeah, Dad's half wrapped it already.
I'm half wrapped and I'm already in trouble.
Well, Dad, do you?
He's ready.
I'm not waiting. It's nostalgic flavour.
It's funny because I haven't had like Australian Chinese restaurant Peking duck in a while, and it is nostalgic. I mean, it's definitely not the same as the Peking duck you have in Beijing. It definitely veers more on the chickeny side. The taste is more chickeny, but I mean, this is just nostalgic. It's delicious. It's juicy. It's got crunchy cucumber and spring onion there. The sauce is just. It's oyster sauce.
It's got
You
the
can't go wrong.
textures, it's got the textures, it's got the sweetness of the sauce, the richness of the duck, the crunch of the, I'm doing it, the umami flavour, the
umami.
saltness and sweetness,
Gotta remember the
the
umami.
balance. It's the balance, it's
Yeah.
the balance.
Is there any zing?
And then you've got the carbohydrate of the pancake. There's no zing of the
Zing per se,
spiciness,
yeah.
but it's a whack bang flavour.
Oh, we had to end with that. I love that. You did great.
I did
You
good.
really are the poor
Don't
man's
come for my
Blondie.
job. So much like when you order Peking duck in China, here it comes with two courses. The skin is used for the pancakes, but the meat, well, that's used for other purposes. The most popular way to use it in Australia is by making duck sang choy bao. It's basically stir-fried duck meat with bamboo and veggies and served in a lettuce leaf. If you want a stronger flavor, you can actually add a little bit of that to this. And you guys know I have a Zhongkou very strong flavor here. What about you?
Can I eat now?
Yeah, you can eat. Tell us about it, Blondie 2.0.
You get the freshness from the lettuce.
Freshness from the lettuce. Okay, Mum, now it's our turn. Let's see if we can
Okay.
out-describe you.
Oh, it's hot. You didn't mention that. You forgot that.
And the hot permeates the lettuce in such a way that actually makes me feel a bit nervous because soggy lettuce isn't my favorite. So it's making me feel a bit anxious, actually.
I think it's anticipation.
And maybe it's the anticipation, but I'm feeling something in my heart. It's a flutter.
It's very full. It's full in the lettuce.
You've had your turn.
I had my turn.
But in short, I know I've said this word like a billion times this video, but it's just nostalgic flavors. Sweet, savory, sesame, it just is what it is. And I have to say, even though I've had hundreds of Peking duck over the years, many of them being in Beijing, this would be one of, if not my favorite, side dish option. Second dish option when it comes to Peking duck is having the sang choy bao.
What are the other options?
You can get a soup. You can get the bones with like the salts, or like it deep fried with salts, or you can take the carcass home yourself.
I'm full. One good duck and I'm done.
Well, make some space, Dad, because we've got lots of food coming.
Oh, wow.
Did we order? Did you order that for me?
Noodles, she got noodles.
We've also got beef and black bean sauce, Mongolian lamb, which is of course served on a sizzling plate, chicken satay, and of course Dad's fried rice, which Mum is decidedly ignoring in favor of her Singapore noodles.
This is a sweet moment.
After 30 years.
How many years have I waited for this moment? Happy. Worth the wait.
It's basically just these small noodles. It's a little, yeah, it's got that taste of curry, sesame. It's a little bit spicy or I don't know if that's just peppery.
Peppery.
It's really good. Very good, Mum.
It's tasty.
Good choice. And now time for you, your fried rice moment.
It's very yellow.
I think this was the moment Dad realized he might just lose this carb battle today. I mean, fried rice.
It's nostalgic.
Normal. Fried rice. I have to say, I'll probably have me more of those
See, after all these years, finally.
the validation you've been waiting for.
validation.
Well, now let's get some of these dishes onto our carbs. First up, let's try some satay chicken.
Yeah.
Smells exactly
Tastes
how
the
I
same.
remember it.
So this is how it looks. It's not like a really thick layer of sauce. Oh, it smells the same. Yeah, it smells so good. Peanutty, oniony. You've got so much onion in there.
So much
I remember classic back in the day. Beck and I, we would eat all the meat out of it, and Dad would usually
Yeah.
just be relegated
Eat
to
all
the
the
onions.
onions.
Add a plate of satay onions.
And now here we have two very similar looking dishes, but experts like us will know that they're actually very different. So this here we have our sizzling Mongolian lamb.
Used to be sizzling.
Sizzling. It used to be sizzling.
It's been sitting there so long, it's Mongolian mutton.
That was hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Joke. I think it's the best one of the day.
Best one of the day. You didn't like my...
That.
This is a dish that's more on the sweeter side. It's also quite oniony, and it also has some notes of 5 spice in there as well. And then you have the beef and black bean sauce, which is a little bit more on the umami side. That one's saltier and more umami.
Completely different flavor profile.
Those are the dishes of my childhood. And even though I know a lot more about Chinese food now, and I've tried the most incredible dishes in China over the last years, it is undeniable that coming here is like getting a hug from an old friend. And one more thing continues to ring true, that there's always room for dessert. We've got a dessert menu here, but since we're on the topic of revisiting the past, let's do what we always used to do back in the day, hit up Macca's for some sundaes.
The Sundays I remember.
No, well, firstly, it's melting. I feel like the sundaes never used to melt. They used to get like shaken.
They had chemicals in them. They didn't melt for 2 days.
I haven't had a caramel sundae in years.
All right, swap. You remember how we used to do that?
What?
We used to call swap, and you had to just put it in the middle, and whoever grabbed your flavour, and then you swap.
Swap.
We did occasionally give our children health food. we did, but this was special occasion food.
Special occasion food, and I always loved it. And to this day, I love it. I'm feeling such like a warmth in my heart. Like, oh my God, I just was so lucky to have such a beautiful childhood. And I have to thank you guys for making that just the most amazing childhood a girl could hope for. And so happy to be home and have this time with you guys. And thank you for having this food adventure with me today.
You can make it
Very
cry.
exciting.
But yeah, guys, thank you for watching and coming along on this very nostalgic Chinese food adventure. And we will see you next week.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.